Greetings for the day, dear friends and colleagues. Today we are going to study or interact or learn regarding the ESG-BRSR report, and particularly in this under the principle 6 we are going to see only the energy intensity reduction. So we will see slide by slide. Now again, I will revise the principle number 6 of BRSR report, which says that respect and make efforts to protect and restore the environment. So under this, what is expected? You have to implement the drives for reduction in energy intensity with respect to the previous financial year. Implement drives for reduction in water intensity with respect to previous financial year. Implement drives for reduction in scope 1 and scope 2 greenhouse gases emission intensity with respect to previous financial year, and to initiate different activities such as fuel substitution project from coal to briquettes and furnace oil to pipe natural gas or low sulfur high stock fuel. So now we are going to see the reduction in energy intensity. So in this principle 6, the first and foremost slide is of essential indicators, that is the mandatory indicators. So under this you have to disclose the details of total energy consumption in joules or multiples, that is gigajoules, and you have to calculate the energy intensity in the following format. So the format says that the total electricity consumption, so the total electric consumption is denoted as A. So here you have to report in gigajoules for the both the years, that is current and previous financial year. But it should be remembered that you have to report not in kilowatt hours, but you have to report in the gigajoules. Then second is the total fuel consumption denoted as B. So here total fuel consumption being consumed inside the factory premises for the various operations or generation of steam and all that, like HSD, then furnace oil, low sulfur high stock fuel, LPGs and other fuels has to be disclosed here. Here also it has to be converted into gigajoules after using the appropriate conversion formula. Then comes energy consumption to other resources denoted at C. Here it is expected that you report the briquette consumption, that is agricultural bio waste. So next comes the total energy consumption, that is the summation of A, B and C. For you have to report for current financial year and previous financial year. Now the important is this is the calculation of the energy intensity per rupee of turnover. How do you calculate? You have to take the total energy consumption, that is A plus B plus C, and you have to divide this with the turnover of that company in rupees for the current financial year as well as for the previous financial year. Then you will get the energy intensity. If at all apart from this you want to use other metrics, then you can use that energy intensity per kg of the product also. So this is regarding the first essential indicator of total energy consumption as per BRSR format. Now under the leadership indicators for the energy intensity, you have to give breakup of the total energy consumed, that is joules or megajoules or gigajoules, from renewable and non-renewable sources in the below set formats. So here first is the from renewable sources. The renewable sources, as we know, that source apart from fossil fuels, that is the solar, wind, hydel, etc. So whatever the renewable energy consumption, electricity consumption you are being generated, you have to report it in gigajoules for the both financial current and previous. Then total fuel consumption, here also you have to disclose the fuel consumption. Here it is expected that the under the renewable sources you can disclose the biofuel consumption, you have to report for both the years. Then total energy consumption through other sources apart from the above two, if any other renewable sources are there, then you can report in this row for current or previous financial year. Then total energy consumed will be the summation of this all electricity consumption, fuel consumption and other sources. So here also you have to report in gigajoule for the current and previous financial year. The next comes the non-renewable sources. The non-renewable sources, which is the same as the slide 1, that is total electric consumption, that is from, in case of Maharashtra MSEDCL, you have to report in gigajoules by converting kilowatt hours by respective formula to gigajoules. Then total fuel consumption, that I have already said, whatever the fuel is being consumed inside the factory premises, that you have to disclose. Then energy consumption through other sources, here again I have said that briquette consumption has to be reported in this. Then you have to do the summation, that is energy consumed from non-renewable energy, that is summation of this A, B and C, then it will come here. So this is about the leadership indicators. Now under this leadership indicators, what is expected is that how you are going to implement various drives to reduce the energy intensity. Now already we have calculated the energy intensity for the current year, financial year and previous financial year. Now with these two metrics, you will get a trend. Either you are increasing or you are decreasing. After if it is decreasing, then it's okay, but if it is increasing, then it is a concern. So how do you initiate various drives which we going to see? So here it is written, if the entity has undertaken any specific initiatives or used innovative technology or solution to improve resource saving or reduce impact due to emission, effluent discharge, waste generated, then you have to provide details of same as per the outcome of the initiative. Then what is expected, various drives based on our experience, I am sharing you what can be done. So here first is you have to keep on monitoring, recording and evaluating the daily energy consumption. How can you do this? You can do it manually. Now in the era of digitalization, online energy monitoring software are available and most of the large scale industries are implementing this drive. So you get data in online data where you can monitor hourly monitoring, or maybe every minute you can monitor, and this will give you edge to monitor and evaluate the high energy consuming areas. Then comes, you can do identify the equipments or plants with high energy consumption. So if you from the above records, you can identify the areas which are consuming very high energy consumption. So you can able to isolate these areas and concentrate for further evaluation and reduction. Then you have to do trend analysis of the equipment and plant wise energy consumption. And from above online data, we can further do the trending of the energy consumption with respect to the equipments which are more consuming the electricity, and also you can do the plant wise energy consumption, and you can give individual targets to that area for further energy reduction. Then you can do the planner for preventive maintenance of high energy consuming equipments and others. Once you know the which are the equipments or the plants which are very high energy consumption, then we can focus on it and we can plan a preventive maintenance drives, particularly for the compressors, chillers, boilers, HVAC system, DGs, then other blowers, high HP blowers, egg pumps. So will definitely give you an edge to reduce the energy consumption or to maintain the energy consumption. Then while purchasing, you have a purchase policy also. You have to take the purchase department in confidence, so that when they purchase, they will also during the purchase see that they have to purchase the pumps, motors or equipments or ACs which are having 4 or 5 star rating. Preferably you go for 5-star rating, so there are very less energy consuming equipments. Then you can go for thermography of the panels. This you can have an individual planner, and this is to prevent the overheating and minimizing the losses. Then comes the human behavior. You see there are many offices, you can see when there is no manpower, the ACs are on, the fans are on. So you have to change that human behavior. You can educate them, give awareness training. You can have display signages that you have to switch off the ACs, fan or equipments when not in use. Then installing VFD to motors. This is a well known, or many industries adopt this. Variable frequency drives you have to install to the motors, that will consume very less energy. Then you can have installing human sensors in bathroom or in washrooms. So wherever, when there is no usually in the second and night shift, when there is a less manpower movement in that areas, the illumination will be controlled and power consumption will be reduced. Then you can install high efficiency motors or pumps and equipments. While purchasing, I have already discussed that more emphasis should be there, taken, that you have to adopt to advanced technology. Maybe that will be more 10% higher, but they will definitely in long term give more energy saving. Then you have to save of energy through renewable sources like solar. Now this every large scale industry is investing very in a very big way, huge way, that for renewable energy renewable energy. Under the renewable energy, they are investing in solar. And I have seen that many industries, bigger pharma industries, are being equivalent. They are generating the power as they are consuming the electricity from the coal fired. So in that way they are offsetting, or you can say neutralizing the carbon footprints. Then you can use a solar for street lights. All street light you can convert to solar, so that will give also the less energy consumption, or prevent the higher energy consumptions. Then use timers in the canteens. These are very small measures. So in a canteen, when there is no manpower, the tubes, or there is auto shut off of the lights. Then use of concepts of green building during new projects or expansion, considering all aspects for energy conservation. This has to be taken in a very um, positive way. Whenever there are any expansion, whether it is a brownfield project or a greenfield project, you should always see that during the construction also, how you can see that natural illumination is utilized, how you can minimize using various technologies, green buildings, to reduce the power consumption. Then you have to use you can use LEDs, light emitting diode lights, having a very low energy consumption. Now almost most of the industries have switched to LED in the corridors or inside, and they are giving a lot of good results in energy reduction. Then we have to last one is the awareness through display of energy saving signages at prominent locations. Then with these drives can definitely be implemented only when humans are involved, engaged, so consulted. So these drives can be done by displaying various messages, awareness messages throughout the company or the work areas. Then in next slide, we are going to see regarding under leadership indicators regarding the fuel consumptions. So how can you can monitor and reduce the fuel consumption, or uh, how you can control the emissions from the fuel consumption. The first is the switching of the use of briquette boiler instead of furnace oil fired boiler. Now almost there is a guidelines from the Ministry of Environment and Forest that to control the sulfur emissions, the industries has to switch from furnace oil to low sulfur high stock fuel, and apart they can also go from briquette boilers. So briquette boiler are a very cost sensitive, and the per kg steam cost is very less as compared to FO. So you have to switch over to briquette boilers. Then you have to you can replace boiler fuel by agriculture biomass like briquettes, which I have already said. So you can replace the boiler fuel through biomass, that is briquettes. Then you can replace furnace oil by low sulfur high stock fuel. This also to reduce the sulfur emission, you have to switch from FO to low sulfur high stock. Then monitoring of the fuel consumption and evaluation, you have to minutely, as I have said, the online electrical consumption is being monitored. Similarly, fuel consumption, there are flow meters, various instrumentations are available where you can precisely minutely monitor the fuel consumption. And once you monitor, you can evaluate, you can trend, and you can see how the fuel consumption, whether the fuel consumption is increasing or it is same. Then you can do this. Then preventive maintenance of the boilers and DGs. This is very important. When you have to maintain the efficiency of the boilers and DGs when they are in operation, because gradually the efficiency is reduced towards the running of the boilers or the DGs. So to maintain the efficiency at a high level or the same level, you have to carry preventive maintenance schedules. Then training to boiler operator. This is also very important. The technical staff engaged in the operation of such critical equipment should be competent. They should know how to operate and how to efficiently operate. There is a difference between operating and efficiently operating. So this can be done only through repeated regular training. Then arresting leakages and liquid fuel lines. So wherever there are leakages, that should be arrested at source. You have to monitor it regularly. And preventive maintenance of the air pollution control like bag filter, cyclone. This will give the control of emissions for particulate matter, especially PM. So when you carry the preventive maintenance, you have to maintain the bag filters bag are intact, and the pressure differential pressure is also properly maintained, so that they are working efficiently and your emissions are under control. Then ensure delivery of fuels with certificate of analysis. This, remember, whenever you are procuring, procure from the reputed sources and ask for certificate of analysis, so that you come to know what is the purity. Then purchase from reputed agencies like HPCL and IOCL. These are reputed companies, government owned companies. So you have to purchase from this and not from any substandard source. Then you have to cross check the fuel quality by sending the sample to reputed lab for identifying any adulteration during the transit from the company to factory. Now this adulteration racket is increasing. Now we just cannot believe on the face value of the COE of the company, because the COE is based on the sampling at source. But when the vehicle travel from the source to many kilometers until it reaches the final destination of the company, you never know. There are seal and all many interlocks are there. But see, the people are very clever. Wherever they get an opportunity, they break the seals, they and see to it that they adulterate the fuel. So how do you know this? You can sample when the fuel container or tanker reaches your site. You have to carry the sampling, and you can once in a while send to third party lab to ensure that the fuel is the certificate of analysis is matching to the that of the company which has been uh, supplying. So this is all about the leadership of fuel consumption. And thank you very much for patiently listening, and keep watching my videos and subscribe my videos. Thank you.